All right, guys, before we dive into today's video, just a quick note on how you can improve for next year. Listen, I didn't always, have a good golf game or a golf swing that we see, in some of these videos. In fact, I really struggled with my game for a long time, and I never forget, what it was like feeling those frustrations on the practice area, on the first tee, in tournaments, when I just had no clue what the heck I was really doing. And it wasn't for a lack of effort. Like, I practiced a lot, I put a lot of time into it, but it was so frustrating when I was trying to improve my game by myself. And it wasn't until I found a really good coach to work with that everything changed for me. Now, I'm not saying I have it all figured out, okay, right? I still struggle from time to time, but my ability to self-correct and how good I am day to day and the consistency of my swing has gotten way better. And it's when I got that coach that changed, and I want that same thing for you, which is why from now until January 1st, we're gonna be offering our 50% end of year sale to CogornoGolf.com, which means I get to coach you for a full year. I wanna be your golf coach in 2024, and we're gonna do it for 50% off, right? This is why we're offering that. In fact, it's like 90% off of the retail value, but 50% off the advertised price on the site. Not only do you get the monthly coaching with us, you also get 24/7 access to coaches to ask questions along the way. That's what I had. That's what I want you to have as well. You have the community support and accountability. You get literally like $2,000 worth of bonus training videos, including all of our live seminars, all of our master classes, all of our practice plans, everything I've learned about how to improve my game and my students' game, you're getting, again, for literally like 90% off the retail value of this. And also on top of that, just to take any risk away, we're also gonna give you a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you have any reason all of the next 30 days that you decide you don't wanna do this, perfectly cool, we'll send you all of your money back. And again, the reason we're doing this is because I communicate with so many of you and you express how these videos help your game. And I just know that if I was able to guide you through the process of improving, you could get so much better and you would enjoy the game so much more. So between now and January 1st, that offer is going to be valid. We'll put the link in the description down below. I hope you'll sign up. I hope that I'll see you there, and I hope that I can be your golf coach for 2024. All right, guys, in today's video, I'm gonna explain to you a concept and show you a drill that I did with a recent lesson of mine with someone who really felt like they were stuck over the ball, wanted to be more athletic. The swing sort of felt out of whack. If you've had that yourself, I think this is gonna really help you. It's a simple concept, but massively impactful. Let's dive right in. So I had a recent guy come in for a lesson, and they sent me a video from Elite Golf School. Shout out to the Elite Golf School guys. We'll put their picture here. They did a video talking about moving laterally before you rotate. And he sent me that video. He's like, Eric, what do you think about this? I think I could put some of this in my swing. And they had a great video, very detailed. I would recommend you go watch that. But we used that concept, and I gave him a simple drill that took him from feeling like he was over the ball. Maybe you've had this experience yourself. Over the ball with like a million swing thoughts. His swing felt uncomfortable. He didn't really know how to start the swing. And he really liked Rory McIlroy, which sort of lined up really well with the video of an effortless golf swing and of shifting before you rotate. We're gonna show you him on the screen as we go here. But here's the concept, okay? This is a drill I gave him I want you to do with me as well. What he was doing in his swing was the opposite of shift before rotate. He was rotating and then shifting. Let me show you what that would look like. And some players come in like this and see me. They spend a lot of energy trying to rotate during the backswing, and they end up shifting kind of late away from the target. And then they do a lot of rotating early on the way down, and then they shift on the way through, right? So that sort of look. A lot of energy, rotating, a lot of effort, kind of a late shift, he looked like. A lot of rotating, late shift. And I see variations of that a lot. When in fact, what Rory does and what the best players do is the exact opposite. They shift early and then they rotate after. They shift early and they rotate after. In fact, before we dive into the details, most of their shifting during the backswing is done in the first few feet of the swing. Most of their shifting towards the target is done in the early part of the downswing. So the majority of your shifting during the backswing as you start the swing should happen from setup to about takeaway, by the hands parallel to the ground here by the hip. This first little part's almost all of your shifting. Then the rotation kicks in. And as I start down, most of my forward shifting happens from the top to literally the same hip high, very early. And then it's more of the rotation. So it's not just what you're supposed to do in a golf swing, it's when you do things and the order in which you do things that's so important, and that's what this concept's all about. So we talked through that, and sort of the simple thing before we work into the drill, I was having them do is say, take your setup position, feel a little bit of press into your trail foot to start, and we started with the club about a foot in front of the ball just to create some momentum. I said, feel like you press a little into your trail foot and feel all of the shifting happen from this first takeaway position. So into your trail foot to hip high. And notice as I'm doing this, when I say pressure or shift into my trail foot, is my body going massively away from the target? Not really, okay? Any shifting, and we'll show the Rory, is very minor and it's early. So instead of me trying to go right into the turn right away, I'm having a little bit of pressure shifting, unweighting or taking weight off my lead foot, adding some into my trail foot early. Now here's where the rotation kicks in. I'll show you the drill we did that in a minute. From there, then I'm going to feel my pressure moving forward towards my lead side. My whole body's moving a little bit more forward towards the target. And then I'm going to feel the rotation kick in. So it's sort of press, turn, press, turn. Press into the trail foot, turn back, press into the lead foot, turn through. And we did a couple of those, club forward, press, turn, press, turn. And all of a sudden, he started to feel more free with his swing. Press, turn, press, turn. But he said, Eric, hey, I'm not going to golf with the club in front. I said, I agree, we're not going to do that, but just to gain a feel for it. And then we hit a couple balls feeling the same thing. You could start this simple. If you want more effortless power, more freed up golf swing, shift before you rotate. Press, turn, press, turn. And that should be a really sort of simple, and that was a beautiful high little draw 7-iron. And that should give you a simple feel, right? Now, as we worked through it, we worked through the minor details. He said, like a lot of players when they come in, how much do I shift? When do I shift? How much do I turn? When do I turn? What do I turn? I said, all good questions. Why don't we do it like this? I said, take your club and put it in the middle of your sternum here like this, just under your shirt buttons. Okay, and you could do this with me as well. And what I want you to feel when you're doing this is sort of a variation of those elite golf guys drill they did. I want you to feel from setup, this club is pointed at the golf ball, so I have no turn at all. I'm also 50-50 with my weight in my feet. I have no shift, okay? The first little bit of this motion, I want to feel a little bit of shift down. That's going to be hips and sternum to the right. Now, I'm over-exaggerating a little bit for effect, okay? This is more so just a feeling in my foot, in my lower body, but I want all of the unit to move to the right. Now, notice as I'm doing this, did this turn way away from the target? No, okay? So this is shifting without turning first. Shift. Now from here, I'm going to take this, or like there's a laser out of my chest, and turn this up and back away from the target to the point where it's about parallel to the ground and turned behind 90 degrees. So I got a 90-degree shoulder turn. Now from here, what do I do on the way down? Do I just rotate right away? No, remember it's shift, put this on the screen, before rotate, right? That's our mantra. So what I feel like is I'm pressing back forward into my lead side, and where's this staying? Back away from the target. So I'm not doing the rotation early. So I press forward, and now where's this got to go? This has to go past the ball towards the target. So it's a really good simple drill to feel this. Let's do that again. Club in the sternum. I'm going to shift, turn, shift, turn. God, is that a good visual. So this isn't moving away at all on the start. Again, this is slightly exaggerated. Remember, I don't really want a huge body shift in reality. It's just a feel. So it's a little bit of a shift of everything. My hip doesn't go outside my ankle. This club stays forward. My hip stays inside my ankle. There's a shift. Turn this up and back, and it's the rib cage, chest. Shift forward without it turning, and then bring the club forward. So when I'm doing this drill and shifting early, right, there's not a massive amount of body shift when I'm doing this. The hip always stays inside the ankle, and any shifting of the mass of my body away from the target is done by about hands hip high, and it's actually the rotation then that brings me back to center. So if I am going to have any sway away, when I rotate, notice that brings my weight back to 50-50. My hips actually move back towards the target. So there's a little away very early, if any, and that rotation piece brings me back to center. We didn't hit many balls that day. We probably did that like 30 times. Okay, we did that drill a bunch to gain a feel. Then we put the club back in. I said, let's feel the same thing. So I feel like I'm shifting my hips and my sternum just for the first like foot here to the right. Hip never goes outside the ankle. This is like the Rory move we'll put up here. Then turn the chest away. Then shift forward and keep the chest back. turn the chest through. Now, that went from a simple concept, okay, shift, turn, to a little more complicated. So you got to find where you want to live, okay? Are you more Dustin Johnson, go play, don't think, or Bryson DeChambeau, you want all the answers? Somewhere in between the two, but I want you to have both of those, but still a pretty simple concept. Club's in the chest, I'm going to shift with no turn the club back, shift forward, turn it through. And give me a couple of those reps here like this. Do this with me. Shift, no turn this up and get this chest back past parallel. Shift forward without it coming way. It'll come a little bit forward and then turn it through. And I want to feel those same things. Shift, turn, shift before you rotate when I hit my normal shot here. And that for me too feels really good and free and athletic. Now, I don't mind having complicated swing feels and thinking micro stuff, okay? But a lot of you guys want something simple that's also effective. And if you're stuck over the ball, you're not sure how to start the swing, you're not sure how to get to the top, you're not sure how to start down, all of this is good. So I feel press into the trail foot, then turn my chest, press into the lead foot, turn my chest. Press, turn. Very free, very athletic. And I personally like when I'm doing that to get into a finish position and kind of hold my finish for a minute or two. I sort of have that visual if we put Rory back up. Rory, you know, he's not a huge buff, but he's not a huge guy. His swing looks so effortless. He swings it so fast, it doesn't look like he's doing a lot of effort, and he does these motions really, really well. He's a good visual. So give this a try, a couple of those drills. I'm gonna do the same thing. Press, turn, hold the finish. All right, guys, so not only does this shift before you rotate work with the irons, it works really good with the driver as well, and we'll show Rory doing that. So if you want that effortless power with the driver, feel free to do the same thing. Shift, turn, right? Obviously with the driver during the downswing, the head's a little bit more back from the setup, but the same feels. I'm shifting, turning back to center, shifting, turning back to center. You can get some extra power and effortless power. Shift, turn, shift, turn.
I've told a lot of friends, like, hey, you need to get on Eric on Cogorno Golf. Like, you have to. Well, my name's Armando Linky from Katy, Texas, just right outside of Houston. My full swing had always got me in trouble. Short game was always good. I would shoot around mid 80s, low 80s on a good day. And as soon as I started getting with JT, I'm talking about like the second or third session. Like, so 2.5 months in, some things he was implementing started working right off the bat. With the short game that I had, I started breaking 80 pretty consistently. Joined in May, I think September, I shot a 71. It was like the lowest score I had ever shot. I've told a lot of friends, like, hey, you need to get on Eric on Cogorno Golf. Like, you have to. First of all, I was like, the value is just so, where are you going to get that many lessons and be able to learn this much and use all of these other tools to be able to refer back to all of your videos that you've had with all the lessons? Like, you're not going to get that anywhere else.